All right. We was
Yeah,
wondering.
that's a pretty seedy connection.
Yeah. Well, we were going to talk to Bernie because are you ready, honey? Good. We're going to talk to Bernie because every man that has lost their wife in this cult has had restraining orders put on them, and they take their children away. They take their sons and their daughters away from them, visitation right, everything, and they threaten them. And this story has been
Recording in progress.
This story has been told by more than one victim. We're talking, same happened to John Miller, Adam, Bruce Tiller, Bernie, and others. And I like for Bernie to tell what they did to him so others can understand why Bernie has a burden and why he's where he's at. So if Bernie would like to tell his story.
Sure. Okay, way back when, about 1992, 3, somewhere in that vicinity, is when I met the cult. Or it was just a nice conservative church at that time. And Donnie Sharp moved up. He's no longer with the group. He moved up all the way up northern Wisconsin where I was living at the time. And so we got involved, and all of a sudden he had to move out and we had to move. My wife was already caught up in the system. We gotta move. I mean, just constant nagging. I come home or I leave in the morning and constant nagging. We gotta move. Well, the closest congregation that I could go to is down in Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's about, 6, 7 hours, I think is what I drove.
7 hours.
7 hours, something like that, to get down to Kenosha. We'll go down there, go for Sunday service and come back. No, we can't drive every Sunday. We can't drive like that. We gotta move. So I ended up renting out my place, moving down there, and I started tree cutting it. When she was down there, she got involved pretty thick with Pat O'Shea and Sue O'Shea. And the thing is, anything that I would say or do with her, go out to eat, by the next morning, Pat O'Shea already knew what I talked about, where I talked about, everything. I can speak the German language fluently. My mom died in 2002, and my dad was just falling apart. Anyway, he says, can you come back together? She died in January, and in March, that was the Easter Sunday. Can you all come, please? You know, I wanted to have the family come together. And up to that point, from about the last previous 6 months, because I was not telling her everything that I intended to do, she already slept separate. She was, no, if you don't treat me like a wife, I'm not going to treat you like a husband. And she made sure that she wasn't with me or anything like that. But now that my mom died, oh, I'm there for you. I said, yeah, right. You know, it was my attitude. But we went up north all the way back to Hinckley, Minnesota for the funeral and so forth. And then we wanted to go, or my dad requested me to come for the get-together Easter Sunday. And my wife was already caught up, said, nope, we don't have pastor's permission. We don't have Pat O'Shea's permission. We don't have this, we don't. We just were up there. I said, no, we're getting together. We're getting together for that. No, we're not. I says, okay, fine. I'm gonna take the oldest 2 boys. We gotta finish off a little bit here in Kenosha, and I'm coming back and I'd like to have a different answer. I gave her a hug and kiss, and that was the last hug and kiss I gave her since 2002. I did not know that was gonna be the end. I came home, she was gone. She moved in with a pastor, Pat O'Shea. I thought that's pretty rough, with 5 of my children with her. I tried calling her, goes to voicemail. I tried texting her, no response. I go to the O'Shea's door, knock on the door, finally got a courage. They never had the curtains pulled before. Even if it's dark, the curtains are open, all of a sudden now it's pulled shut. I knock on the door. Billy O'Shea, who is apostle now too, right?
He's a pastor.
He's a pastor. Anyway, he opened the door and I could see through the house into the kitchen, and there was Sue O'Shea. She had her hair down, which was forbidden, I guess, according to the cult. But she sees it's me. She goes like that to Billy. Billy looks, okay, bam, slammed the door in my face. The most godly people you can meet, you know. So Oh, it's because she was immodest. Well, she was there with Billy. Is immodesty there? Before I seen her with the hair down too. It didn't matter, but now all of a sudden it's this big commotion. So how do I had to go to an attorney and to get placement for the children. I couldn't talk to her, I couldn't get to her, so I got to try placement. He says, you got to file a divorce. I don't want a divorce. Well, then I can't help you. Nobody can help you. Nobody. That was a lie. I had a bad attorney. Found out she had the best attorney, and I believe the cult paid for that attorney. So the divorce started, and things that she did. There's a court hearing. People would come up from the cult, would come up, and I sit down at the bench and I look back, and the whole back end of the courtroom is all filled up with penguins. I mean, black and white outfits. I mean, it was Penguinville out here, and I mean, the pressure was on. The pressure was on. So then they conglomerated a amount that I was supposed to pay. I was supposed to pay like $430 a week in child support, even though I had the 2 boys with me.
You got time.
What am I paying? Shut up or you're going to jail.
All right, I'll
Well, I
let you
gotta
know.
find out what's going on. So I went up north,
Love you too.
Shell Lake, Wisconsin, a different county, and asked child support agency, what am I paying on? Where's my, well, what's your social security number? And here you go. There were 11 children signed up against me that I'm paying on, so $430 is not outrageous. The first 5 that are with her, no problem. I don't mind paying child support. Then the 2 boys were listed. No, my ex-wife was listed. She was listed, so she's child number 6. Then the 2 boys were listed. That's 7, 8. Then I'm a big child. I was listed there. So that's 9. Then 2 of the first 5 got relisted again, so that's 11 children. You got 11 children, what are you complaining about? And so I took that paper back to Kenosha and went right to the child support agency. Where did you get that from? I said, well, I got it from a different county. Well, they hustled off and they were gone for half an hour. They had to get a hold of the judge. Finally, they came back and said, no, yours has to be done in the courtroom. And the courtroom, it just got really meddled. So anyway, I paid $18,000 in 22 months. That's a big car payment that you could have paid off in less than 2 years. Nope, contempt of court, jail. There was one time, I back up, I was one time in jail before that, just for a few hours. I had a restraining, or no, before the restraining order, that's the day that I got the restraining order. She says, I wanted to go to the air show. Air shows were not permissible back then. Now everybody can go to air shows. The laws have changed in the cult. Anyway, I want to take the children to the air show. It's 3 hours to Oshkosh. Oshkosh air show starts like 5, 6, 7, 8. I have to have them back at 8. Well, as soon as the first plane takes off, I got to turn around and come home. Or the air show lasts 2 hours, but then I'd have them home at 10. Shreen, can I have them till 10? No. Unless I can come in the house and get some things. What do you want? I'll get it for you. No. I want to get it myself. I don't know what there is. What do you want? I'll get it for you. No. Okay, then you don't get the children. And so the pressure's on. I says, okay, fine. Okay, you can come. Well, I'm going to bring a friend. You ain't bring Sue O'Shea, you're on. No, somebody else. Who? You don't know her. Here she was, a women's right advocate. Tiffany. Here's Tiffany. Well, she don't look anything like the cult. Shorts and halter top, basically. This is not from the cult. Can she come in the house? No. Well, can the boys stay outside? No, they live here. Well, can she stay? And so here's an entryway coming into the kitchen area. The kitchen area is like this. My boys are standing by the bathroom. Tiffany stands right there. I am following and seeing what she's going to take. I'm standing right there. Shreen is standing right there. And the boys caught the wink. Now, she knew what it takes for me to get arrested. She knew what it takes, Tiffany did, of what it is to get a restraining order. I didn't know. And she pulls out a camera. Oh no, no camera. Yes, I can take camera. No, and I reach for the camera. She drops the camera, brings it down, brings it up, brings it down, and starts screaming, I can take pictures, and just constant screaming. I let go. What is going on here? And instantly, Tiffany's yelling over there at the kitchen entrance there, get your hands off of her. Yes, we got a fight going on here. She already called the cops. This was pre-planned. So when I get to the court, the DA, not this DA, but the DA says, did you know that if they're screaming in the background, I says, I'm not guilty. I says, if they're screaming in the background, you are automatically guilty. We have the recordings. Well, you better reply no contest. But no contest, you're admitting that you're guilty but not guilty. Here she yelled and told the cops that I grabbed her wrist. I never touched her wrist. Oh, it hurts so bad, you hurt me and this and that. So she got restraining orders on me. She flat out lied. Well, you told Randy to get the camera. My son was there. He didn't want to go back to the cult. They were mentally out of it before I got out of the cult. And so now here's a restraining order on me. Because there was a restraining order on me, I couldn't take my children the next day. I had placement for them the next day to go to the air show. I couldn't. So I just took my 2 oldest sons and we went to the air show, and restraining order on me. Then I had to show up at court, and the judge was pretty good. Sue O'Shea was practically every single court hearing we went to. They have constantly barraging in to put pressure on the person that left them. There's pressure on them. And so here's Sue O'Shea. While she couldn't be in the courtroom in this particular civil court, she had to be behind the glass behind there. And so the question got asked, first they get their chance. Yeah, he grabbed my wrist and everything. He hurt me so bad. He's got some books that are black market books or something like that. It was military books. That's all they were. Oh, but I'm scared of him. He raised his fist to me, and she made up stuff. And okay, then the judge says, okay, what do you say for yourself? I says, well, they're involved in the cult. Stop. I don't want to hear about the cult. Yeah, but Sue O'Shea is pressuring. She's not even here in the courtroom. Yeah, she's right there. It looked like she wanted to get out of there so fast. Anyway, then I started explaining what's going on. And I had the chance to do that, and how the camera got taken and so forth. And so she says, okay, I heard enough. I'll make my decision. They say that you grabbed her wrist. You say you didn't. There's 2 against 1 here. But it seems to me, the way I see it, he had to grab the wrist to get the camera if you did grab the wrist. So it was the intention of getting the camera, not the intention of hurting her. And another thing, and then I had a good point. I said, she's concerned about me losing my mind and stuff like that. I have never used drugs in my life. Never. But she has. I have never been drunk in my life, but she has. And talking about disgruntled and stuff like that. And it was just seeing devastating and liars and just flat out lying about me and getting a restraining order on me. He says, okay, so now I lift the restraining order. I had restraining orders for about a week. Then things continued. Okay, so now I went to jail because I couldn't pay $18,000, more than $18,000. You're $11,000 behind, found out it was $7,000. I couldn't keep up with it. It was way too much. But then when I go in for 6 months, I come out owing $10,000 more. Didn't make a penny during the whole time, but now I owe $10,000 more. To this day, right now, it's almost $250,000. It's $243,000. Even though my youngest child is like 28 and 29 years old now, I have 7 children. It's $243 and it's still going up every single month. I'm 65 now. When I was 62, the courts on their own. I asked about it. The question, no, my ex-wife had nothing to do with it. But there's a statute of limitation that would have ended when I was 62. Nope, they continued it to 72. They extended it for 10 more years. They hate me that much. The courts do. Because I started putting all their information, their transcripts, everything on a website. ScrewedKenosha.com, and you've probably been there before. How did they get there? My webmaster, I don't know how to do it. I asked, I told him, I don't know, it looks like I'm going to be going to jail or something. I need a website. I need to start fighting back. And what do you want to call it? I don't know. I have to have something simple. I can't go by my name. Toholki, say what? You know, I mean, how do you spell it? T-O-C, how? You know, no, it has to be something simple. And he says, well, what do other people say? I'm getting screwed Kenosha style. I told him that. So when I'm now in jail, I said, just get the website started, anything. In comes the first paper shipped into me, screwed Kenosha style. So that's the way it happened. I'm in jail 3 months. I filed an appeal. What I did not know, I didn't know anything about judicial stuff. When you file an appeal, if you're out in the open, out loose, in civilian life, you have to use monospacing. Monospacing. You know what monospacing is? No. Monospacing is where every letter gets the same amount of space. The M takes up the whole square, like graph paper. M takes up the whole square space. I is big old gap between them. That's monospacing. It takes a special typewriter. Then it's monospacing. I didn't have that, so mine got rejected. But if you're in jail, you can take a color crayon or whatever they give you and write it on a toilet paper, and they have to accept it. So my judge was clever. She went ahead and says, hey, if you got a job, you can get released. So she released me before the appeals court had to make a decision. So now I'm out on the loose, so now they can just reject it, protecting her. She, Judge Mary Kay Wagner, gave contributions to the chief judge, the Supreme Court judge, or for Wisconsin. And so Shirley Abrahamson. So it was all locked in together, and I had to start learning. And so I found dirt on her. She had a second DUI, and that got all involved. And I wrote a second book, The Black Robe Conspiracy. The first book was Torn Asunder in the Jaws of a Cult. And I started giving all these different things of what I went through. The last time I went to jail was a 6-month sentence. I spent a full year in jail. 3 months, 2 months out, then got rejected. 3 months through to finish my sentence. She just was mean, ran out of the courtroom as I showed up. Was out for, I think, 2 or 3 years, and then went in for 6 months. But by that time, I had enough momentum going. I put on a black and white suit, striped suit, jailbird suit. Had a black styrofoam ball. I took a 12-inch styrofoam ball, painted it black, stuck a wire through it, and took plastic chain, put it to my wrist, ball and chain type of thing, and I walked Kenosha, Wisconsin, Racine, Wisconsin is just above that, a big city, and they were having a parade. And I dressed up. I'm an introvert, but I had to force myself to go out, which I'm doing right now with a cult now. But there it was for the courts. I had to get initiated and grow into this. And the parade was almost ready to get started, and both sides of the street are lined up. And I had these pamphlets, a Screwed Kenosha style, go whatever's going on here. And I started walking. I was embarrassed in here, and I passed out a stack. I walked the whole thing and started coming back. I was almost back, and that's when the fire truck started, sirens and stuff. Then I went to Washington, D.C., and every senator got it. Every representative of Minnesota and Wisconsin got it. And I also went to Madison, Wisconsin, and those senators all got it. And so I was fighting back, and that's when the judges started dropping. They recused themselves. Nope, and got right down to the last judge. And by that time, it's way over $150,000 that I supposedly owe them. And the last judge was real clever. Oh no, I was already out of jail. Let me finish. I'll try getting back to that. Anyway, I was in jail. I'm 7 hours away from home. I live in Minnesota. I moved to Minnesota, and now I'm in Kenosha jail, 7 hours away. And I had my Bible. I had the pamphlets of pages, and I'm going to be released. The Kenosha jail releases you at 1 a.m. when you're done with your sentence. 1 a.m. Why? Not at midnight? Because your day is up. Your day is up on midnight. But they keep you until 1, that you don't go out and get drunk yet because the bars are still open. I came in the summertime for the 6-month sentence, I believe it was, Came in the summertime. I had a t-shirt on, just a t-shirt and pants and stuff, but no thermals, no coat, no nothing, because it's summertime. Come to the court here and bam, slammed into jail. Now I get released, and it's wintertime. It's 10 degrees outside. I met somebody in jail. Oh, I'll help you get out and stuff like that. Do you have anybody? No, and he's going to get released. But what he didn't know, his wife was cheating on him when he got out and realized all of that, and everything fell apart, and I didn't get a ride. So 1 a.m, I get booted out in the jail. My ride's not here. My, is it cold. I'm going to freeze to death out here. I got to have a ride. My family's 7 hours away from here. I have no place to go. And so I know a filling station 3-4 blocks that way. And I start heading over there to the filling station. I get inside, not a penny to my name, not one penny, nothing. Snow outside, I'm cold. I just try warming up in there a little bit, and a person comes to me and says, how can I help you? I just got out of jail, I'm just waiting for daylight. No, you can't solicit here. I said, then call the cops. What? Call the cops. You want me to call the cops on you? Yes, please. Boy, that's unusual. He called the cops. Cop rolled in, I stepped out. What seems to be the problem here? I says, I just got out of jail. I live 7 hours north of here. I have no place to go. I am cold. I don't even have a coat. They released me at 1 a.m. They could have kept me until 7, 8 in the morning. I could have started walking to people that I know. And so, well, you know where the sheriff's station is? Yeah, it's by the jail, a block away from there. Yep. Okay. I'll call ahead and you can stay there. I can't give you a ride though. So I have to walk 4 blocks, freezing. When you get to the sheriff's station, it's a glass front, big glass front. There's a door on this side. You walk through, then there's another glass front. You gotta walk through the door to get into the sheriff's station. I get to the door, rang the bell. Are you Bernie? Yeah, okay, come on in. But you can't go through the second door, and that door is locked. So now I'm here between 2 glass plates, like in a china cabinet, cold, miserable, have a little bag of books, a Gideon Bible, a few papers. It's now 1:30 in the morning or so. I'm tired. I take that bag of books, I sit down, concrete floor. No blanket, at least a dog would get a blanket. I didn't. I laid down and I fell asleep. The next thing that woke me up is footsteps going beside me. Open my eyes, it's daylight outside. People are going in and out of the sheriff's station to go and hear my homeless boy. My car had been repossessed. No money, no car, no vehicle, nothing. I walk out, get to a friend's place, I think. I call somebody that I knew up just by Racine there, north of there, 10 miles. She came and got me. She says, yeah, I got some work for you. You can pull brush and this and that, clean up, rake the lawn, whatever. So I made $200. I bought a car and made it home. And then I had to start rebuilding.
What year was that?
2004 or 2007, something like that. Yeah, and then started rebuilding. Had nothing. I tried buying a car. Guy comes back, I can't do nothing with this. My dad says, I'll co-sign for you. He had a credit rating, a top-notch, 700 and some whatever. He had a top-notch credit rating. So we walk into the bank trying to get a $2,000 loan. Instead of him pulling me up so we could get it, I pulled him down that neither of us could get it. So he says, I'll just buy it flat out, right? So he bought it and I paid him back. So I had a van then. So I started in then. So trying to rebuild. But in the meantime, I'm starting to fight against the cult and exposing them for what they are. I fought against the courts. The courts leave me alone now. I leave them alone. It's a truce, it's a stalemate. I don't dare take it back into the court. If they do take me back into court and want to sentence me, then the American flag will be nothing more than a colored bedsheet to me. And I will put the graffiti on there and send it to every senator. And they know that. And so they leave me alone. But the rights, the justice system is all screwed up.
It's sad.
Yeah.
And the cult.
And then while I got out, before, in between one of, I think, 2004 and 2007, somewhere in that area, I would have had to take it back to court again because she took the 5 children, moved to Indiana, Ohio. And so now I couldn't see them. There were 4 years I couldn't see them. And finally, I have to take it back in the courts, and I did go to jail after that again. Oh, well, you're so far behind, boom, and contempt again. But I did see the children for one or two times after that, but they changed so much, children changed so much. And yeah, I have, like I mentioned earlier, Susie. Susie is a daughter that was born into it. She was a youngster. And she hates me. She hates me. She says, you either take down your book and say you're all wrong, you better take down your website, Screw Kenosha Style, because I love those people, I want to be with those people, and you're fighting against them. You will not see your granddaughter if you do not take that down. I says, those are all true stories. Fine, boom, and that was it for 4 years. 4 years, the child is 4 years old. I haven't seen her since she was a baby. I grieve for her. Read the Bible, Susie. Look at it. Study it. Is that what it says? You take strict one. Get behind me. That's a lie. Paul said it. Follow me only as I follow Christ. But Ray Tinsman left it out. Strike 2. He's a perfect man. Strike 3. And I mean, I can go down the list. Every single one of those. That's on that rat suit that I made. Look at those 9 things. They are not of God. They are not of God. Get your spiritual rat poison is the YouTube video. They're doing all the speaking. I am not. I did not say a single word. So, no, I got to fight against them. I hope Susie and Rachel wake up and actually look at the scriptures and see if it's right.
They've damaged so many people.
Yeah. My ex, I mentioned it to somebody that I would just love, I would just appreciate a human, friendly conversation, just a friendship. Do I want her for my wife? No, I'm scared of her now. But I would love to have a friendly, the way some couples have, They talk about each other. Oh, you need a ride up? Yeah, I can take you there, no problem. Whatever it is, a friendly, diplomatic approach. And a person told me, that'll never happen. She hates your guts. So, on my end, I wanted to do the godly thing. On her end, she hates me, my ex. So, yeah, that's the zeal. That's the drive that I have. So.
That's not unlike what happened with Adam.
Yeah.
His wife has no respect for him whatsoever, no need for him whatsoever.
Yeah.
So apparently the cult does that to people.
Yeah. I remember one time when I was bringing my children back, early on, it just broke up and the divorce was just getting started, and the big church building and then the parsonage. They were living in the parsonage. And the driveway comes around, completely around, and goes past the parsonage. I come around to drop off the children. I'm right ready to face that way. And my ex-wife, still a wife, comes running out on the passenger side, and I could see behind her. And she's there. And she says, are you really serious about this whole thing? And no, I still love you. I still want to be with you, but this is going wrong and stuff. And while we were talking, while we were actually gaining some ground, Sue O'Shea came out of the house, saw that. She hoofed. I mean, that body language was strong. She was spitting fire. Headed back in the house. I thought, oh, there it goes. Sure enough, she went back in the house, and from that time on, it was evil. That's when, after that, Tiffany came and had me arrested and all that stuff, and the restraining orders and all that. came after that because Sue O'Shea, evil spirit.
Yeah, they're a bad group by anybody's estimation.
And why was it broken up? Because my oldest son needed an inhaler, and I got tired of watching him suffer. And I went over the counter inhaler, and I tried this here. Oh, I can breathe. And so he used it whenever he had a problem. But one of the children caught him. What did you just spray in your mouth? Mommy, what did Randy spray in his mouth? And she went ahead and told the pastor that. Pat O'Shea pulled me, he chewed me out and this and that. It was,
So what he said?
He says, you need to support your wife. I mean, she needs to leave you. If you can't support your wife, she needs to leave you.
But what do you say about the inhaler?
Inhaler, he was against it. He was against it, but do it what your wife wants. Your wife doesn't want it, you should be good with her. I said, yeah, but Randy wants it. He needs it. No, you obey, I was supposed to obey my wife. And so that was wrong. Another time I took the children. Without him knowing it, I just took off and went up north. And they were supposed to help clean the church. Oh, I got back. And that was that was my first chapter in the book there, where he just pointed the finger. He was right here with his finger. You think you will get the children? You will not get the children. Train's going to get the children. You know it's a woman's state. You will lose everything. You will get it. I mean, he was that mad into my face like that. Pat O'Shea, yelled at me.
Senior or junior? Senior. Wow.
Yeah, Junior was younger than me.
Wow.
And so you will not get the children. And James, he was right there. He was there. He saw it. He says, that was not right. He told Danny Lane about it, and Danny Lane stuck up for Pat O'Shea for doing that.
Wow.
And anyway,
they did the same thing to Adam. They told Adam that his wife won't be coming home.
Yep. And so no, it was crazy. But then there were a few times that I was able to flex my verbal muscles. One time, it feels so good when you can actually score a point, even though it's carnal. Even though it's carnal, Pat O'Shea has a stuttering problem. He has a stuttering problem, especially when he gets in a crowd. And he has always ridiculed me. Oh, you got a low self-image. You got a low self-image. You do this and you do that, and always criticizing me. You don't come for counsel and you don't counsel with me. He's never succeeded in business, and I was succeeding in business. You haven't come counsel to him? And I says, I don't take a bicycle. I don't take my car to somebody that can't even repair a bicycle. I don't take my health matters to somebody that doesn't know anything about healing or anything about drugs. I'm not going to go there. And I'm not going to take my business and get counsel from somebody that's never succeeded in business. Well, you should at least go to Tinsman. Jerry Tinsman Sr. And so that was one fight we had. And then, but the one that I liked the best, the day of the divorce, I did not know it was the day of divorce. My attorney didn't tell me that. And all of a sudden I get handed this paper and I'm supposed to just sign it. What's going on here? This is, can we fight it? Yeah, we can fight it later, the attorney said. No, you cannot. It's locked in for years. But I believed him and I signed the papers, and sure enough, I get the children one day a week and I didn't even get that. But here's a divorce, and Shreen comes in the house to get her stuff. She has the right now to get her stuff. There's Pat O'Shea and Sue O'Shea, bodyguards. Shreen pulls out a drawer, dumps it on the floor, takes out the 2 items she wants, leaves the mess, grabs the next drawer, and she made a mess of the house. And just took out a few items, and then the 2 women, they head out of the house, and Pat O'Shea is right there. He says, I'm going to work hard to bring this marriage back together. I said, yeah, right. Yeah, right. No, we still love you. Yeah, sure. No, I'm really going to pray that you're going to get it back together. I says, you know what? You always criticize me that I got a low self-image, that I have an inferiority complex. Did you ever think that you could have an inferiority complex? Well, why do you say that? It's because when you talk to me, you have no problem. If you talk to somebody else, You have no problem. If you talk to somebody else, you have no problem. You talk just fine. But when you get in front of the crowd, then all of a sudden you got a problem. Boom! It looked like I slapped him. He says, there's a lot of people think I'm a good preacher, gifted. I says, yeah, you give it to them 4 times, they can't forget it. He just spun around and walked out the door. Oh, it felt so good, and yet it was so carnal, and yet it felt so good. So
Bernie,
getting
it
pushed
breaks-
and pushed and pushed and pushed.
it breaks my heart, Brother Lee. I was a first-hand witness of what he shared with you. I wasn't here to hear it all, but I was there in that congregation. I saw the way he was treated.
Yeah.
And
He was there when the finger was pointed right in here, spit flying on my shirt. He saw it.
it was a tragedy what the O'Sheas did to Bernie, to his family. It wasn't just the O'Sheas, it was Danny Lane. It was a conspiracy, and that's not an exaggeration. They tore Bernie's family apart, and they were mean about it, and that's not an exaggeration. My heart goes out to Bernie for what he went through.
And for why? For why? Because I gave Randy medicine. It's because I didn't believe that you're supposed to have permission for every single thing over $50. If you have an item over $50, you got to get the pastor permission.
Wow.
You can't leave town. Those are the things I was fighting against. Oh, I wanted to go to the air show. Oh, no. And that became me. And that's the reason it was split up. Because I was gonna, the day that she left was,
You're not an adult if you have to check in with somebody to
True.
spend more than $50 or go out of town. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
We are out of town. We are out of time in 1 minute and 30 seconds. So